Whoopi Goldberg is furious, and it's making headlines everywhere. Karoline Leavitt, the youngest White House press secretary, has just hit The View with an $800 million lawsuit. This explosive clash is shaking up television like never before. What led to this massive legal battle? What's at stake? Stay tuned as we uncover every detail of this dramatic face-off. Let's go back to where it all began, because this story is like a roller coaster with twists and turns. It was January 2025, and Karoline Leavitt, who's only 27 years old, was doing her first big job as White House press secretary. That means she talks for the president, answering tough questions from reporters. During her first press talk, she said something bold. She wanted to pause wokeness programs, like stuff that helps certain groups get jobs or school spots. It was a big deal, and people were watching her every move. Sunny Hostin, who used to be a lawyer, was super confident too. She looked straight at the camera, all serious, and said, "This lawsuit has no chance. It's like trying to climb a mountain with flip-flops. It's going nowhere." The audience clapped and the hosts high-fived, thinking they'd won already. Big news channels like CNN and MSNBC backed them up, saying Karoline was just trying to scare them. They called the lawsuit silly and a waste of time. For a hot second, it looked like The View was unstoppable, like a superhero team that could dodge any punch. But here's the thing. While they were laughing on TV, something totally different was happening behind the scenes. Whispers were starting to spread, like secrets in a school hallway. People in lawyer land were talking, and they weren't laughing at all. Karoline's legal team wasn't messing around. They had secret papers, hidden stories from people who worked at The View, and big proof that the hosts were trying to ruin Karoline's name. One person close to the show spilled the tea. This lawsuit's got real power. It could shake ABC, the company that owns The View, to bits. That's when the whole game changed. The lawsuit gets serious. Let's talk about this lawsuit, because it's not just a number, it's a monster. Karoline's team said The View didn't just make a mistake. They lied on purpose to make her look bad. They called it defamation, which is a fancy word for saying mean stuff that's not true to hurt someone. The $800 million was for all the damage they caused, like making people think Karoline wasn't good at her job. Her lawyers had a stack of evidence, emails, secret notes, and even recordings of things said off camera. One insider said, "Karoline's got receipts and they're explosive." ABC's bosses who run The View started to get nervous. They're used to dealing with little problems, but this was a giant one. Their lawyers were working late, reading every word the hosts ever said about Karoline. They found stuff that made them gulp. One lawyer whispered, "If this goes to court, it's not just about money. All our secrets could spill out, and it'll be a disaster." The secrets? Oh, they were juicy. Things like private texts where the hosts made fun of Karoline, or meetings where they planned to take her down. Yikes. While the lawyers were freaking out, the hosts were still acting cool on TV. Whoopi kept joking, Joy kept rolling her eyes, and Sunny kept saying, "No big deal." But behind closed doors, the vibe was totally different. One worker at ABC said, "The bosses aren't laughing. They know this could end The View for good." The lawsuit wasn't just about Karoline anymore. It was about the whole show's future. And that's when things got really, really messy. Whoopi loses it. The big turning point came when Whoopi heard something that made her super mad. ABC's bosses were thinking about settling the lawsuit, meaning they'd pay Karoline a ton of money to make it go away. When Whoopi found out, she flipped out like a volcano erupting. In a secret meeting, she yelled so loud the walls shook. "Are we really scared of her now?" she shouted, slamming her coffee mug so hard it cracked in half. Or at least, that's what one worker said. Whoopi's been on The View for years, surviving all kinds of drama, but this felt personal. She thought she was untouchable, like a queen, but now her own bosses were acting like Karoline had the upper hand. Whoopi wasn't the only one mad. Joy Behar was on a rampage, storming around backstage like a hurricane. She threw her makeup bag on a table and yelled, "We made this show a hit. We brought in millions of dollars for ABC." Her voice echoed down the hallway and everyone could hear her. Joy was furious that the bosses were even thinking about paying Karoline. They can't ditch us like we're old toys," she shouted. She felt betrayed, like the company she helped build was turning its back on her. Sunny Hostin, who's usually the calm one, wasn't smiling either. As a former lawyer, she knew how bad this could get. She read the secret papers Karoline's team had, and her face went pale. She pulled a producer aside and said, "This isn't just a little problem. If this goes to court, we're all getting dragged into it." Sunny knew a trial wouldn't just be about money. It would be a big mess, with cameras watching every move. Private emails, old show clips, even backstage chats could be shown to the world. It was like a scary movie, and Sunny didn't want to be in it. There was the big flip on live TV. Let's take a look. Then came the moment that shocked everybody. Right on live TV, The View did something nobody expected. They tried to say sorry. It was like watching a superhero team wave a white flag. Whoopy, who's usually loud and proud, spoke super softly. She sighed, shook her head, and said, "Maybe we got too heated. Let's all calm down and be nice." Her voice was shaky, and she looked like she hadn't slept. Gone was the tough Whoopy who laughed off the lawsuit. This was a new Whoopy, trying to fix a big mistake. Joy Behar, who'd been super sassy before, was acting different too. She fidgeted with her notes, looking nervous, and said, "Why does this have to go so far? Can't we just talk it out like grown-ups?" That was a huge change from the Joy who called Karoline a complainer. Fans in the audience were stunned, whispering to each other, "Is she serious?" Sunny Hostin went even further. She looked right at the camera and said, "Karoline, if you're watching, let's fix this without a fight. We can find a way to make it right." You could almost hear the producers holding their breath backstage. This wasn't just a normal show moment. It was a big deal. The hosts were trying to save themselves, but it felt like they were begging. Kids watching at home could tell something was off. The internet went crazy, like a popcorn machine exploding. TikTok was full of videos made by kids, showing Whoopi's face going from smirky to scared. One funny meme had Joy's grumpy face with the words, "When you talk big but owe $800 million. Another showed Sunny looking worried, with a caption that said, "When you say no chance, but now you're in trouble." X users posted like crazy, with one kid writing, "The View is begging now? They must be guilty." Another said, "This is better than any cartoon." The internet goes wild. Let's talk about the internet, because it was like a giant party where everyone was shouting. Kids on TikTok and Instagram made tons of videos, some with funny dances showing The View running scared. One viral video had a kid acting like Whoopy, pretending to yell, "We're not scared," then hiding under a table. It got millions of likes. X was buzzing too, with posts saying stuff like, "Karoline's got The View shaking," and Whoopy's apology was so fake. Even grown-ups joined in, sharing screenshots of the hosts looking nervous on TV. Memes were everywhere, like stickers on a notebook. One super popular meme showed a split screen. On one side, Whoopy laughing and saying, "This'll blow over," and on the other, her looking stressed and saying, "Let's calm down." Kids added captions like, "When you mess with the wrong person." Another meme had Joy's face with the words, "Built the show, broke the bank." It was like the whole internet was laughing at The View, and the hosts couldn't escape it. Big news channels got in on the action too. Fox News, which a lot of Karoline's fans watch, aired shows saying The View was falling apart, and them a lesson. They played clips of Whoopi's apology over and over, saying it proved she was scared. YouTube stars made videos with titles like "Whoopi's Big Mistake" and "Karoline's $800 million slam dunk." One video by a kid named Jake got 2 million views in a day, showing how The View went to terrified. The whole world was watching, and The View was in the hot seat. ABC's Big Panic. Now, behind the scenes, ABC was in total chaos, like a classroom when the teacher leaves. Their lawyers were working all night, reading old emails, show scripts, and even texts between the hosts. They were scared of what Karoline's team might show in court. One worker said, "It's not just about the money. If this goes to trial, all our secrets could come out and it'll be a nightmare." "What secrets?" private chats where the hosts made fun of Karoline or plans to make her look bad on air. If a judge saw that stuff, it could ruin The View's reputation. ABC's bosses were split on what to do. Some wanted to fight Karoline in court, saying, "We didn't do anything wrong." But others were super nervous. They wanted to pay Karoline to keep it quiet because a trial could show the world how The View really works. One boss said, "If our private stuff gets out, it's not just The View that's in trouble. It's all of ABC." They were so worried that some companies that pay for ads on the show started pulling out. One ad company said, "We don't want to be part of this mess." That's a big deal, because ads are what keep the show on TV. The hosts didn't know how bad it was at first. They were still joking on air, thinking it was just a little problem. But when they heard ABC might settle, they got super mad. Whoopi was the angriest. She felt like ABC was betraying her after all the years she'd been a star. "I'm the face of this show," she yelled in another meeting, throwing her hands up. Joy was just as upset, saying, "We made ABC rich and now they're scared of a 27-year-old? Sunny tried to stay calm, but even she said, "This is getting out of hand. We need to fix this fast." Karoline stands strong. Here's the coolest part. Karoline Leavitt isn't backing down. She's like a superhero who doesn't flinch, even when the bad guys try to scare her. Every time The View tries to say sorry or act nice, it just makes them look worse. Karoline's team keeps pushing, saying they've got more proof to show in court. One of her lawyers said, "We're not here to play games. The View messed with the wrong person." Kids online are cheering for her, calling her Karoline the Brave in comments and videos. The internet keeps buzzing with new memes and posts every day. One kid made a drawing of Karoline holding a giant $800 million check, with Whoopi crying in the background. It went viral on Instagram with thousands of likes. X users are saying stuff like, "Karoline's gonna win big," and "The View is toast." Even some grown-up news sites, like the Daily Wire, wrote stories saying, "The View is hypocritical for acting sorry now after being so mean." The whole world is watching, and Karoline's got the spotlight. The big question, what's next? So, where does this all go? Will Karoline's lawsuit bring down The View, one of the biggest shows on TV? Or will Whoopi and ABC find a way to wiggle out of this mess? Right now, things look bad for The View. Their ratings, the number of people watching, are dropping like a rock. Fans are mad, saying the hosts aren't as fun anymore. Some kids on X even wrote, "I used to love The View, but now it's just drama." That's a big problem, because if people stop watching, the show could end. ABC is still trying to figure out what to do. Their lawyers are meeting every day, looking for a way to make Karoline happy without going to court. But Karoline's not making it easy. She wants The View to admit they were wrong, and she wants the world to know it. One insider said, "Karoline's not just fighting for money. She's fighting for respect." If this goes to trial, it could be the biggest TV drama ever, with cameras showing every secret The View tried to hide. Whoopi's feeling the heat most of all. She's been super quiet lately, not joking as much on air. Some say she's worried her career might take a hit. After all, she's been a star for decades, but this lawsuit is making people see her differently. Joy and Sunny are stressed too, but Whoopi's the leader, so she's got the most to lose. One kid on TikTok posted a video saying, "Whoopi looks like she's ready to quit." It's wild to think a show as big as The View could be in so much trouble. Let's talk about it. This story is like a big, crazy puzzle, and we want to hear what you think. Is Karoline Leavitt going to win her $800 million and make The View say sorry? Or will Whoopi Goldberg and her team find a way to save the show? Maybe you think The View messed up big time, or maybe you think Karoline's asking for too much. Whatever you think, drop it in the comments below. And the drama keeps going. Let's circle back to the internet because it's still going wild. Kids are making new TikTok videos every day, some with funny songs about The View falling apart. One kid sang, "Whoopi said it's fine, but now she's in a bind." And it got 1 million views. X is full of posts saying stuff like, "Karoline's the boss now," and "The View can't handle her." Even grown-ups are joining in, sharing old clips of Whoopi laughing to show how different she looks now. It's like the whole world is part of this big TV fight. Memes are still popping up too. One new meme shows Karoline as a superhero flying over the View's set, with the hosts running away. Another has Sunny's face with the words, "When you're a lawyer but forget how to law." Kids are having a blast making these, and they're spreading like wildfire. Fox News keeps talking about it, saying The View is losing its grip, and Karoline's changing the game. YouTube stars are making new videos too, like one called The Day the View Crumbled, which got 3 million views in 2 days. ABC's bosses are still in panic mode. They're having secret meetings, trying to figure out how to save the show. Some want to fire the hosts and start fresh, but others say that would make things worse. One worker said, "If we lose Whoopi, the show's done. But if we keep her, the lawsuit might destroy us." It's a tough spot, and nobody knows what to do. The lawyers are still reading old emails, hoping to find something that'll help. But Karoline's team keeps coming with more proof, like a boxer who never stops punching. Why this matters? This isn't just about a lawsuit. It's about how TV shows work and what happens when they mess up. The View has been on for years, talking about big stuff like politics and news. But now, people are saying they went too far. Kids on X are posting things like, "You can't just say mean stuff and expect no consequences." It's a lesson for everyone. Words matter, and they can get you in big trouble. Karoline's fight is also about standing up for yourself. She's young, but she's showing the world she's not scared. Kids are looking up to her, making drawings and videos saying, "Be like Karoline." It's inspiring, like a story in a book where the hero doesn't give up. But for The View, it's a warning. If they don't fix this, they could lose everything. Their fans, their ads, even their show. One more time. What's next? Let's wrap this up, but don't worry, the story's not done. Will Karoline Leavitt take down The View with her $800 million lawsuit? Will Whoopi Goldberg find a way to save her show? Or is this the end of her TV reign? The ratings are still dropping, the internet's still buzzing, and ABC's still scrambling. This is the biggest drama on TV right now, and we're all waiting to see what happens next. So, tell us again, what do you think? Is Karoline gonna win big, or will The View pull off a miracle? Maybe you've got a funny meme idea, or a guess about what Whoopi's thinking. Share it all in the comments. We can't wait to hear. And if you're hooked on this story, smash that like button. Subscribe and hit the bell so you're the first to know when we drop the next update. This fight's got more twists coming, and you don't want to miss a single second. See you soon for the next chapter of this epic TV showdown.